So, Michelle, first of all, with very smiley Blake here, 7 months old. It was a 20p coin, wasn't it?
That's correct.
What happened?
Yep. I just came up from my mum's house after lunch, and the two kids were due for a nap, so I went to the bathroom. And as I always do, I leave the door open because obviously I've got 2 young children.
Yeah, keep an eye on them.
And then my daughter, she's 22 months, and she emptied my purse out that was in the changing bag, and I heard him choking on the 20p coin. So I came running through and there was money scattered everywhere. And my first instance was I did freeze, but then I thought, right, OK, get into action. And I remembered obviously what the Dr Ranj had said on the Facebook post.
So you knew exactly what to do, which was behind.
That's right. So I went over and I seen the 20p lodged in the back of his throat, and then I just went straight into the back slaps.
Yeah.
And then obviously it managed to dislodge straight away, so we were very lucky, weren't we?
You were
very lucky
extremely
indeed.
lucky. And again for you, Vicky and Teddy there with you. Similar situation. This time though you were in a supermarket car park. What happened?
He was in the back of the car and he found a piece of plastic on the floor, which he says he threw up in the air, and it went straight down his throat. So all I heard was a scream.
Yeah.
And then I said, is it plastic? Is it paper? Is it a coin? And he nodded at plastic, so I dragged him from the back of the car through to the front, and I'm saying, cough it up, cough it up. And then he tried to put his fingers down his throat, and I said, don't do that, because
you'll push it further down. Yeah.
I was trying to pull it out, really.
You'd think that's what you should do, wouldn't you, until you know
then for a split second, I thought, oh, my God, I don't know if I'm going to be able to help him. And then I remembered what Dr Ranj, because I watched it live.
A look of terror on his face.
Oh, absolutely. He was looking at me, and it was a help me.
Yeah. Were you frightened, Teddy?
Yep,
He went this
extremely.
dreadful purple
Were you?
colour, all his...
Extremely.
Oh, it's
I
horrible.
can imagine.
Yeah,
So I went straight into the back slaps.
Yeah.
And then I bent him forward because nothing was happening, and I up, you know, in and up.
Yeah.
Up and underneath.
And you absolutely
It flew
couldn't.
out.
You absolutely couldn't breathe.
No.
Wow.
Well, that's
Well,
really frightening.
I could breathe a little bit, but not really that much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And would you have known what to have done beforehand?
I think having it so fresh in my mind because I'd watched it live, I didn't. I only panicked for the briefest of seconds, and then I remembered.
Yeah.
I'm not sure had I not watched that, I think I would have just run around the car park.
Yeah, and just panicked. And this was the same for you, wasn't it, Emily? Because actually you say because you'd seen it that morning on the telly,
Yeah.
your biggest thing was that you were able to remain so calm when it came to Mila. So what happened to her?
I'd just come in from work and she was crawling around on the upstairs landing, and she'd got hold of a piece of plastic that was a clear piece of plastic, and it was it looked like it may have snapped off one of my older children's toys.
Right.
So I hadn't necessarily seen or looked for it on the floor, and she was sort of rolling it around in her mouth, and my husband shouted me upstairs and said, she's got something in her mouth, she's got something in her mouth. And then it wasn't like she tried to swallow it, she inhaled it. It was and I heard it like a plug stopper.
Yeah.
And it sounds quite cliche, but because I'd seen it that morning, I remembered in my head exactly what had been said.
Yeah.
And I even imagined holding it like the doll had been held on this morning, and remembered where to smack it.
You said you can almost hear Ranj's words as you're talking over your shoulder.
Yeah, it was, and I could literally... I was imagining she was the doll.
Yeah.
And
you wouldn't have known what to have done before?
No, I would have panicked.
Would you?
I would have definitely have
And
panicked.
because of that, and you said you remained actually surprisingly calm.
Calm, yeah, and it came up within 3 back slaps, and it came just to the front of her mouth, so I took it out. She still did go to A&E and had X-rays to make sure there were nothing else, but she's been absolutely fine.
And Ranj, this must be so wonderful for you two. When we do items like this, we know it's going to save life, and here's the evidence.
Yeah, it's amazing to see a real-life result of the kind of stuff that we do in the show, and it just goes to show that anybody can do simple first aid and save a life. You don't, any age, any background, you don't need special training to do it. Simple, just follow those simple steps and you can save a life. Choking still causes around 25 deaths in children every year. We can prevent that.
Yeah.
By doing things like this, by even taking it into schools. I want to see CPR training and first aid training in every single school across the country, and
all the mums agree.
I really think that's something that we need to fight for.
Totally.
Yeah.
If you're going to have a baby, then this should be something that you're taught as part of the course, part of your, your maternity time. You should be learning this. Thank you for bringing them in.
Well
the
done.
best behaved children ever on our sofa.
For more of the same, just click here, and don't forget you can subscribe for even more of these amazing videos exclusive to our channel.
Alternate back blows and thrusts, OK? So with the little ones, you can either lean them down and slightly forward to support their head on your arm.
Depending on their age, is
Depending
this?
on their age. So these are the under ones. Or put them on your knee and tilt it slightly downwards. Use gravity to help you. And it's 5 sharp blows with the heel of your hand between their shoulder
And is
blades.
it in between
so
the shoulder
it can
blades?
be as hard as that.